What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video, since it is Alton Towers' 40th anniversary today, I thought I'd go and take a look at something that's actually been talked about quite recently, and that is the potential removal of Rita. Now, pretty much in today's video, I'm just going to be going over what I think could potentially happen to this attraction, going over what could actually happen if it was to be removed, or if it was rethemed. So yeah, if you guys do go on to enjoy this, definitely feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 330 by the end of this week, so if we can do that, honestly, that would make my month. Obviously, we're starting off April, hopefully, with a really good positive start. Now, obviously, the channel at the moment, I've got loads of different series running. I've obviously got my Planet Coaster series running, which will be out every week. Hopefully, there'll be another episode on Monday. I've also got my Thought Park Rewind series that I've got going up at the moment. A lot of you guys have actually been asking for Towers ones, so I may just kind of swap that kind of title to a Merlin Rewind and kind of, class it as all the parks. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming on the channel over the next couple of weeks to keep you guys occupied during lockdown. So yeah, definitely feel free to subscribe, turn notifications on, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay then, so the first thing I'm actually going to address within the video is actually obviously the thing that a lot of people are talking about, and that is the potential removal of the attraction. Now obviously, for a little bit of a backstory for you guys on why Rita is so hated, pretty much back when it was opened, it wasn't classed as a secret weapon. It kind of seemed a little bit rushed to a lot of people. The theming was quite generic. Obviously they had like a radio that was stationed that was playing around obviously the area, and obviously the fact that it was in Ugland as well didn't really fit too well. But yeah, it wasn't exactly the greatest attraction in the world, and obviously a lot of fans were kind of sceptical when they heard this would not be a secret weapon. Obviously, years later, the secret weapon program obviously did resume. However, yeah, this has kind of been hated really ever since, not just because of the fact it wasn't a secret weapon, but also the actual layout of the ride itself. It seemed kind of lazy. There was only one launch. The rest of the ride kind of felt a little bit dead, and don't get me wrong, this isn't the worst attraction in the world, but it also isn't the best either. So yeah, now that you're up to date, a lot of people recently, because it is actually the 40th anniversary of Towers this year, are actually kind of talking about Secret Weapon 9, including myself. So a lot of people are actually talking about the potential removal of this attraction to replace it with something else. That is pretty much what I'm going to be going over in this first segment of the video. Okay then, so first of all, what would actually be the benefits of this ride's removal? Now obviously this does take quite a fairly large footprint. Obviously it's quite a large piece of space, and obviously the thing a lot of people have been talking about is the fact that when Rita was obviously added, it wasn't themed to the Dark Forest, which is obviously what that area is in at the moment is called. Now obviously this was obviously changed back when 13 opened, and they kind of rethemed it to fit with the Dark Forest. But if this ride was to be removed, whatever came in its place could be particularly perfectly themed and built around the Dark Forest. Obviously, when, like I said, it opened, it was built around like a raceway, much like Stealth is. And obviously, they only had a certain amount of things they could do when they turned it into Rita, obviously, the point of, where it's in the Dark Forest. So yeah, if this ride was to be removed and replaced with something else, that is the one key thing that would actually be a lot cooler than the rest, is obviously the theming potential for this attraction. Now, in terms of what attraction could potentially come here, a lot of people have been talking about intermin blitzes, which I think would be very, very cool. Me personally, I would love an intermin launch, or a multi-launch, or Mac multi-launch, anything to do with a launch, because this coaster used to be a launch coaster, the footprint would kind of bode well to that type of thing actually being added into that space. Obviously, these coasters are quite compact, so they wouldn't take up too much space, and obviously a multi-launch coaster themed to the Dark Forest would actually go down very, very well. Obviously, there's loads of different potential theming ideas you could do, but yeah, maybe even keeping the theming to the actual raceway itself, and obviously maybe enhance that theming a little bit more, and obviously kind of bode it well to the Dark Forest. Now, there is actually loads of reasoning why this could actually potentially happen within the near future. Not necessarily right now, but within the next couple of years. It's obviously Towers and kind of Merlin's general plan, and a lot of the different Merlin parks, to try and revamp their kind of least popular areas. Now, obviously, we've seen this firsthand with Alton Towers this year. Obviously, they retheming Cloud Cuckoo Land, which was actually quite dead. Obviously, back when I used to go to Towers when I was little, this place was thriving. Like, you had the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ride. This was quite a busy place in the park, but obviously over time it's actually dwindled down, and obviously Alton Towers had taken it upon themselves to try and lively that area back up again. And obviously this isn't the only thing that happened. Obviously CBeebies Land was a retheme with like the farm kind of area from obviously ages ago, and obviously not just Alton Towers doing this. Obviously Legoland and Chessington doing doing this as well. Obviously Chessington have just brought out the Rainforest this season. Obviously this is a re-theme of multiple rides and attractions within that area itself. Obviously they are also getting rid of Ramsay's Revenge and replacing that with the Drop Tower. They've just kind of re-themed and added more theming into Tomb Blaster. So obviously this does look like it's something that these parks are actually trying to do. Even Thorpe Park are doing it. You know, with the new Black Mirror attraction, obviously that's going into the Living Nightmare space. Obviously that's going to try and bring more life to Old Town during the season. So yeah, it does look like this is the way going forward for these parks, and removal and an addition to Rita would really kind of fit well with this ongoing theme that these parks are trying to do, because obviously Rita isn't the most liked ride in the world. They know they can do better, and if they replace this with Secret Weapon 9, I think it would really bring more life to the Dark Forest area itself, and obviously it will leave a lot of people happy. Okay, so the next part of the video then is kind of mainly going to be focusing on what actually could happen in terms of refurbishment wise for this attraction that is standing there right now. Now obviously there are many different people out there that do think that Rita could just need a retheme, which I'm totally on board with if they do it. However, that wouldn't change the fact that the ride is quite boring, and obviously by no means, like I said, is it the worst ride in the world, but obviously the layout isn't exactly the most exciting. Obviously after the first launch, it's just kind of going round. Obviously if there was a second launch and a massive theming element, or if there was like a massive like horseshoe element, obviously that's kind of impossible because of the tree limit, Alton Towers, but something like that would obviously really kind of enhance the kind of ride area itself, and that could actually potentially happen. Look, Towers could potentially add a bunch of new theming to this ride, but I feel like if they were going to put themselves through that kind of effort to kind of make this ride the best they can, would it just be easier to just remove it completely and add your brand new coaster in there, enhanced with as much theming as possible? Because like I said, at that point, the ride would then be made for that particular theming. Rita wasn't made for this Dark Forest theming. This was obviously made for a raceway. So obviously when this Dark Forest theming came in, it was very difficult to try and pinpoint where exactly they could actually add this theming into. So obviously if this obviously did get removed, it would leave them with a lot more of leeway and a lot more freedom. But obviously if they did choose not to do that, there are many other theming differences that they could actually make. The first of these isn't actually a themed launch. Now obviously Rita's launch is probably the best part of the ride, and to kind of have this themed would absolutely be incredible. Now there are many different directions they could potentially go. This potentially like an old abandoned tunnel, much like kind of this creaky kind of wooden looking unkind of safe kind of tunnel that the ride then passes through and then launches straight out of. That could be very cool. Like I said, there would be a lot of effort that would have to go into this, but it would generally pay off if they are opting off to not actually build a new coaster in its spot. Now obviously, not only this, there are obviously many different places that you could have kind of indoor sections along the ride, just to kind of keep it a little bit more interesting. Maybe even a break section potentially, where you stop and then kind of go off again, maybe in a little bit of a building. Not only that, but obviously these statues, obviously you've seen a lot of these statues around the Dark Forest, particularly in 13, so potentially maybe having a massive kind of statue to kind of show that would actually kind of bring this kind of area to life a little bit more. Like I said, there's many different things they could do with the theming for this. Obviously, you know, it's just sad that obviously they're not taking this more into account, but obviously it isn't really their main priority at the moment. Rita is fine for them in their eyes. Obviously they don't really need to do anything to it right now, but obviously that's why a lot of people have been saying that this could potentially be the spot for Secret Weapon 9, because obviously Alton Towers will be thinking about their next big development, and obviously now they're running out a little bit more space, they kind of think, right, what's our weakest attraction here? Right, let's turn Rita into something more, and I think that could potentially be the way they're going. Like I said, there are many theming opportunities, if not, and I think it could be very cool as well. Okay then, so that is going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. I know this kind of feels a little bit short, but I did want to get a video out for Alton Towers' 40th anniversary today, because I thought it would be very fitting. Obviously, I did want to make a video on this topic as well, so yeah, this kind of fit into place nicely. Obviously, like I said, new Planet Coaster episode will be out on Monday. Brand new type of video that I'm going to be doing, which is very exciting, will actually be a challenge, which is actually coming out on Wednesday. I'm shifting the kind of Merlin Rewind series onto Friday for this week, just for this week, obviously because of this brand new challenge video that I'm bringing out. But yeah, obviously that's the way it's going to be going. Obviously I am working on merch, for those of you that don't know. This is going to be very sick. It's in the early stages at the moment. I'm hoping to maybe release it when I get to 1k. So yeah, that's quite far away, I know, but there is still a lot of stuff I have to do with it. But yeah, it is looking very sick. 6 so far. But yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. Again, guys, if you did enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe. Obviously, as well as that, turn notifications on for all of those different series which will be releasing next week. So, with all that said, I'll see you guys later.